All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome in. You found us once again. Shoot the Gap, the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Focus Show, here to help you to be gruntled with your fantasy football team and your fantasy football decisions. I am your humble host, Brian the Amigo Baldwin, and it's my pleasure to introduce Connor, the Gut Marshall. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm still alive after doing 5 drafts.
Okay. Look at you. Look at you. And a lot of how many of them were the
Three were
salary?
salary. Three were salary, and then
Yeah,
I
I know
had
that's
a
your jam. That's your jam.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's my jam, dude. I won last year, so I was like, dude, I gotta take all my money I won and just put it back into more leagues. See how much I can win.
The house always wins, brother. That's how the house always wins,
I'm
man.
the house, baby. Let's do
Yeah.
this.
It is now the 188th show, September 2nd, in this hopeful year of our Lord. Man, we have a great show for you today. So now that we are past the most drafted weekend of the year, we figured, hey, man, it'd be good to talk about what now. I mean, you spent months researching, guys and strategizing for your draft, and now that you have your dream team, now what should you do? Well, now we'll be talking about that. But before we do, let's get into one of my favorite games. Merry Early Christmas.
Let's play it.
Yeah. All right. So, Merry Early Christmas. Now, this is where I like to say, you know, bad news in a good way. Okay, so I found out it's easier to hear bad news in a nice way. So I'll say Merry Early Christmas to a player, and Connor will explain why or do his best to explain why. I think he will. I
I think
always have
I'll,
faith.
I think I'll
Yeah,
do good.
yeah,
Thank you.
dude. No, these aren't hard. These aren't hard. All right, let's
You
get.
always say that, and they always are.
They're not. They're not. Not for you. Not for you. Not for a three-time champion like you are, sir.
That's true.
All right. No asterisks. All right. So, all right, let's get started. Merry early Christmas, Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett.
This was kind of on the nose. This was on the nose. Don't go too deep. It's right there. Okay.
I'm guessing it's because he didn't get cut or whatever. Like he's on the 50
Yeah.
man
Yeah.
roster.
That's right. That's right.
Really?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
He's the starter. Yeah. He's been named the starter by New England's head coach, man. And
Oh yeah, I remembered seeing that. I just didn't process that as news because it was like, okay, well he's like a placeholder. Like he's not
right.
gonna.
Well,
Yeah.
right. A bridge
Yes.
QB
Yes.
to Drake May. So the reason why I brought him up, of course, the gift goes to Jacoby Brissett because hey, man, he's a starting, QB for an NFL team, man. That's pretty awesome, So congratulations, fantasy though, man. Were you even looking the New England Patriots
No.
way? At nowhere.
No.
Not even Pop
Nowhere.
Douglas. Nothing. Okay,
Nothing.
okay. Yeah, but there. Here's the thing
No.
that really gets me though, dude. Okay, I got to be honest that they are projected to have the worst offense, and
Yeah.
so was the Texans last year. And you saw what happened. So,
Well, that's like taking like a 20 ounce Dallas fillet, like a real just premium cut of steak.
okay,
And then you just slap down some greasy chop steak from Denny's on a plate next to it. You're like, these things are, the equal. Like the Texans are just something special.
okay,
The shit the
okay,
shit storm that is the Patriots can never equate
okay.
us.
I'm just saying,
How
man.
dare
People
you?
were people were saying the same thing. Okay, hey, we're trying to put our homerism aside here, right? We're
I mean, if there's a comp that I'd say is this year's Texans, it's probably the Bears. It's probably not the Patriots.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Moving on. Merry early Christmas, Russell Wilson. Kind of the same thing.
Name the starter.
Yeah, that's right.
To the dismay of some people, I think Le'Veon Bell actually came out in defense of Wilson. So there's definitely there's people taking sides. This is interesting.
Well, man, if you have eyes and you watched any of the preseason for Chicago, then you know why that happened. I mean, because Justin Fields, it was rough. He was trying too hard to win the position, and he was doing too much, and he kept fumbling.
Looking up.
Yeah, and with doing that, that he literally fumbled the job away, so that was unfortunate. Mookie, yeah. Does Russell Wilson? I mean, you were a believer in George Pickens all your teams. Do you have any George Pickens on your teams?
No, because I have Najee in most of them.
Okay.
I was more happy with Cortland Sutton than Pickens as a wide receiver prospect. So I tried to just split the difference and go after Najee and Sutton.
Dude, I see. I understand the path. I understand the thinking, of going down Najee, especially with Jaylen Warren being hurt and everything like that. Dude, I'm a Bijan Robinson manager. I had him last year. He's my keeper. So I'm forever scarred by Arthur Smith, especially in the running game. So I cannot endorse any of the backfield from Pittsburgh, man. And I think it's great that you are. I even see. I mean, it could be great. It could be great. It could be great. So I applaud you for that. All right. But if you were a George Pickens fan, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, are they the same? Were you hoping for one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of either one is better than Kenny Pickett. I mean, the fact that you saw an uptick in usage and production come in for Pickens whenever Mason Rudolph was under center is enough anecdotal information to convey that point across to you profoundly.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah, I just lost some of our viewership.
No. Good. You helped them win Scrabble.
Right. I'm used to
write those words down. Yeah.
No, okay. In layman's terms, Russell Wilson still supported Cortland Sutton good enough to give him wide receiver one as usage last year.
Okay.
And Justin Fields still did good enough to give DJ Moore decent fantasy production. The problem is George Pickens and DJ Moore were both kind of inconsistent last year. So I'm afraid that it's going to be more of the same for George Pickens, not because he isn't a good player, but just because he's kind of an all or nothing big play guy. Some weeks he's gonna break a tackle and get you a 60-yard touchdown, but he's not going to do that every week. So I don't like that knowing I'm not going to hit every week and I have to play to try to get it. I don't like that.
And some weeks Arthur Smith's going to do Arthur Smith stuff. So
the
tight ends. You saw what he's doing with the tight ends already. Okay.
Right. I'm really hoping that like he does that like one. It's the situation where like he does that one time like Mike Tomlin takes him out back and then
okay.
Smith never does that again.
We totally stayed way too long in the Steelers.
Merry
early Christmas, Josh Jacobs.
AJ Dillon on IR, already out for the year. Went ahead and drafted him after I heard that information. So I would add me on the list of Merry early recipients for this one.
Are you worried about Marshawn Lloyd?
I am not aware of him as an entity in fantasy football in the entirety of ever. But I mean, Josh Jacobs, he's going to be that guy, bro.
Okay. I get it. But Marshawn Lloyd, one thing that got me excited about Josh Jacobs was that Marshawn Lloyd had a hamstring injury, and there was talk about him being added onto the IR. Now he's practicing. Okay, he's gonna be ready for week 1. So they put that spray that they spray on the soccer players. They get them off the stretcher on back to the pitch real quick. They must have sprayed that stuff on him.
So essentially, what it sounds like you're saying is like they have like no one except Jacobs.
No, I'm just saying that I'm seeing like it's no longer going to be just all Jacobs all the time. But I don't think that they're going to be run focused anyway. I mean,
I mean, like obviously in 2024, there's very few players that are like an every down player. Like there's like a couple, probably like McCaffrey. Like like there's very few people, right? But there are some people that are like that. And I don't think that you're necessarily looking for that for Josh Jacobs. What you're looking for is he is a 3-down back guy. Yeah, they're probably going to spell him. They're probably going to spell him with other guys, but they're doing that to everybody. They even do that to McCaffrey. They were still giving Mason or whatever his name is some runs last year. Like not a lot, but they were still giving him a couple. So it's like you're going to see that with Jacobs for sure. But he's probably going to get the red zone touches. He's probably going to get the third down work. He's probably going to be the guy they trust in pass pro. So he has a lot of things going for him to still get him the majority of the snaps, enough to give him what you would call a lion's share, still making him a bell cow and a good value for you can get him, because his ADP kind of wasn't really affected the day the news came out. I think he was going as like a third rounder. I think he's probably worth like a second rounder.
If anybody has drafts coming up, yeah, it's skyrocketing from that news. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Usually you shouldn't get too nervous about rookies to begin with, especially whenever they gave so much money to Jacobs. Yeah. I guess you know what we could do real quick since you mentioned it. Yeah, Merry Early Christmas, Mason, Jordan Mason, right? The running back for the 49ers, with the news of Elijah Mitchell going to
IR.
He done. Yeah, and they already said the San Francisco game plan reportedly is to save McCaffrey from himself. So that guy's going to be he's going to probably be valuable. Same thing with Debo. I think he's going to be used in running a lot more now, even though Brandon Ayuk is back. Probably even more now that Brandon Ayuk is back. So.
I think if the 49ers know what's good for them, they're gonna lean a little bit more on the other skill players besides McCaffrey. Not to sound cutesy, but I think you even get the fullback involved more. He's still talented.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Spell it.
Hell no, dude. I could barely pronounce it.
Right.
I was trying so hard on that pronoun. I was like, please fucking let me get this right.
Well, you did great. That's why I asked you to
immediately start player hating. Like, how do I just
I asked you to spell it because you pronounced it so well. I was like, man, this guy knows everything. I wasn't trying to player hate. Sorry, man. That's not what I do.
I'm just playing. We're having fun.
So we're gonna switch. All right. So gonna kill the Christmas. Yeah. So with Christmas, there's always Grinches, right? And so Grinches, these are players that are stealing a gift, fantasy football gift away from another player. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you who's stealing it, and you'll tell me, Connor, who he's stealing it from.
Okie dokie.
You're a mean one, Samaje Perine.
Oh, you're going to say this is stuff he's stealing from Pacheco.
Yeah, because Pacheco was going to be the main guy. Yeah, he was set to be the main guy. But this is the feeling, Connor. You are a strong believer, as I am, in Pacheco. Does Samaje Perine and also with Clyde Edwards-Helaire going on IR, does that change anything about Pacheco at all, or Perine? Worry you at all as a Pacheco manager?
No, and maybe. It's like, obviously I'm not happy as a Pacheco manager that the Chiefs signed another running back right before the season starts. But I mean,
you can see why though, with the news from Clyde.
Well, yeah, but then you see why. It's like they don't have another running back on the roster. Like, it's not like, they're gonna do, and whatever. Like, they signed someone, but then you think about it, it's like, okay, well, Peyton Manning's like a running back. I'm sorry, Sean Payton's like a running back whisperer, and he had great success-ish with Samaje last year, and then he let him walk. So obviously, if he's not useful enough to that guy, then he's probably not useful enough to really fuck with what Pacheco's got going on. So they're probably going to spell him, but they're probably just going to use him more for pass protection. But honestly, that's good because Pacheco's a freak, bro. Because if you remember, he got injured last year, and it was a big thing because he got injured right before the playoffs. but he
Yeah.
was back at weeks 15 and 16, and I trusted in him, and he actually did good. But that was like a major gamble that I took.
Yeah.
But the thought of Pacheco probably not getting injured and being healthy all 16 games, I actually will take that. I will take that over the thought of it like literally just being him, and then it's like, oh, he's probably gonna get a concussion in these games. You know?
Yeah. Oh no, I got it. Yeah. You moving on. You're a mean one. Last one. Dalvin Cook.
Zeke and
Yeah.
Dowdle if you're nasty, but I think Dowdle's a glorified IR. I mean, I'm sorry, glorified special teamer. And I think that the whole notion that he's going to be the running back is laughable at best.
Okay,
Zeke is, for all intents and purposes, the running back.
So you're not buying into Mike
No.
McCarthy saying that he's not going to do special teams because of the increased workload he's going to get in the offense. So that doesn't mean you're not buying that.
No, because he's like, who do you think they trust more in pass pro? Zeke's still good at pass pro. You know,
You just like saying the word pass pro because you said it like 12 times already.
it's worth paying attention to. Because that's a key part for
Brought to you by
clutch
Pass
time.
Pro.
Brought to you by like and subscribe for more Pass Pro. No, it's really important though. Like I was talking to my friends about this the other day. I'm not going to say this on the show because I know we have some young listeners, but Pass Pro is important, and it compensates for lacking of other things in terms of being a running back. And because of that, you need to pay attention to that. You have someone like Zeke, like it's not a sexy play, but you're playing him because he's probably going to get the red zone carries at the end of the day, and he's going to get the pass pro opportunities, which is where a lot of garbage time receptions come from. So a lot of value, like Zeke is still super cheap, and he holds a lot of value. Dowdle is just like a lot more risky. You have a lot less security in your investment there.
Would you say that the backfield is going to with the Cowboys is going to be a RBBC anyway?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was at its best whenever they had Zeke and Pollard doing their thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like that. Well, it's important to be noted that right now, on September 2nd, that Dalvin Cook is on the practice squad and not on the 53-man roster right now. So going into week one,
get signed.
Yeah, week one is going to be Dowdle and Elliott in some form of fashion, and maybe some Deuce Vaughn put in there. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. That's one of the things to keep an eye on. You know, you never know if something might happen. All right. Okay. Let's just move on to some real quick news before we jump into what we think you should do or what we suggest, just some suggestions on what to do, what we do, you know, whenever after the draft.
What to do.
Hey, there you go. You didn't do the hand. You got to do the, yeah, there you go. Okay. All right. So, no, just from the camera angle, your hand looks huge. It's like the size of your head. Yeah. So let's go and talk real quick. Ricky Pearsall. Yeah, San Francisco rookie wide receiver was shot multiple times. Yeah, in the chest. But has since been released from the hospital. Yeah, so make sure and pray for him. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, thoughts and prayers. You hate to see it. You know, I mean, I know we were talking about it. We were talking about it the day it happened. I remember it was out of nowhere. It was literally during a draft that a buddy of mine were doing. So it was crazy. I mean, obviously, you know, thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. I'm glad he's doing okay. Everything's on the up and up, but I think it's more just football news and like life news. I don't think it really has that much of a fantasy implication because there's so many other guys higher on the totem pole for him. Yeah, you know, I mean, we're talking McCaffrey, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, probably Jennings, and Youth Check.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. 2 for 2. Okay.
Yeah. No, you got it. Spell it. No, I'm kidding. No,
it has a U.
Yeah, it's up. Yeah, it's up there, man. It's but you know, I just wanted to mention it because it was an unfortunate situation. Like when we were talking about it, I really I was surprised about hearing about where it happened in San Francisco and things of that sort. But Doc, we were talking to Doc, but he shared some stories about San Francisco that
Ooh, yeah.
yeah, which was it's a good thing that he's young and in shape. Moving on, Mark Andrews, man, Mark Andrews practicing. Looks like he's gonna be ready for week 1. So there is a old analogy that when Mark Andrews is off the field, Zay Flowers is great. When Mark Andrews is on the field, Zay Flowers is bad. So, with that in mind, first of all, do you buy into that? And if so, what should Zay Flower truthers be thinking right now?
I think this is a very important moment, and I'm gonna take the initial option to say no to this construct of how it works, because I think the environment is different now because Derrick Henry is here, and I think that's very important. Because Derrick Henry has the best line he's ever gotten to play with, probably the best offensive opportunity. I mean, look, I know he's had some good lines in Tennessee, but let me rephrase it. He's the best offense he's ever played with. He has a good offensive line, but he has a better offense than he ever had in Tennessee. He's got Lamar Jackson now. He's got a good offensive coordinator, and then he has Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews, and likely, who are good. So he has, it's like a dual threat thing. So you can't stack the box against Henry. Fucked if you stack the box against Henry, because they'll just kill them with like the RPOs and the play action or whatever. So I don't think that it's the same thing where it's like, oh well, Flowers isn't going to be good because Andrews is on there. Flowers was a rookie last year. So wide receivers always do a bump in year 2. So just we only saw like one. Zay Flowers did really good as a rookie last year. He was like a game away from the Super Bowl, and everyone's like, oh, like he raged, like whatever. It's like, yeah, but he's a rookie. Like he's very young, so he's probably going to get more mature next year. He has a great coach. He has a good quarterback. Lamar Jackson's a good leader. Like, he's probably going to have a better year 2. Mark Andrews, though, is injury prone. And I think he's going to get injured this year, and then likely is going to be the tight end to own. So if you have Mark Andrews, you better be handcuffing with Isaiah Likely.
So likely you're not really buying into the camp reports about how he's going to be the second wide receiver and that he's a graduated tight end. He's more than a tight end. He's a wide receiver.
Likely?
Yeah, there's been a lot of buzz coming out of.
No, I buy into that hype 100%. What I'm saying is for positional purposes, for leagues in which you need a tight end, like, eventually Mark Andrews is going to get injured, and it's just going to be Isaiah Likely, and he's going to be like a top 5 tight end to have.
Yeah. I would also add on Zay Flowers that they did a lot of run plays with him, so he wasn't. He was also did things of that sort, and all the
probably
you mentioned Derrick Henry. You mentioned Derrick Henry, but the only other thing behind him is Justice Hill. So if they want change of pace, they'll probably use Zay Flowers in that role. So
yeah, probably do some and some Lamar, but Lamar's he's gonna run less. I think he's gonna run less, but he's not gonna not run. He's going to still run.
Didn't he lose some weight or something?
Yeah, he lost some weight. Some other is kind of a telltale sign. Like, I put 2 and 2 together. I think a lot of people did. They're like, oh, Derrick Henry's there and he lost weight. He's not going to run as much. He's going to throw more. And they're going to let Derrick Henry take those hits. Who can take them all day, baby.
Yeah, we'll see. The
Yeti.
Yeah.
And he's built for the cold. He can handle the cold.
Yeah. Dude, we'll see, man. I think I want to believe.
Special. I'm playing against him, and I can't even hate. I think he's going to.
My heart wants to believe it. My heart wants to believe it. Truly. CeeDee Lamb, 4-year, $136 million extension finally. So note to everybody out there, Jerry Jones said that he was waiting on the perfect moment to make the perfect time to make the offer whenever the market price was perfect. So it's not right after the season end, after the Super Bowl. It's not before free agency starts. It's not before the draft. Apparently, according to Jerry Jones, It's like what, a week before the season starts.
I wish we had that music we used to play for dumb coaches.
Yakety Sax. We'll see if we can add it in
Yakety
later.
Sax.
Yeah. Well, Benny Hill. Yeah, man. It's just crazy. So reports are that they put him on the commissioner's exempt list, and that's not to make anybody nervous. So if you haven't drafted yet, or if you did draft and you see like the NA next to CeeDee Lamb, don't be too nervous about that. It's just a procedural move that the Cowboys did so that Lamb did not count against their 53-man roster while he's getting ramped up and ready to go. So it was just a little thing that they did, kind of like putting somebody in your IR, that is only out, and they're going to pop back onto questionable on the Monday or something. That's kind of what they did. All right. So don't be too nervous.
Sometimes that's fun though, bro.
It is, but sometimes it's a handcuff and a trap. So yeah, but you got to be careful of that. But anyway, does this make you a believer in Dak now that CD's back?
I think that the Cowboys are going to put up a lot of numbers, and I think that Dak is a good quarterback play because of the production he's going to do and because of the price that you have to pay for it. However, I don't trust the Cowboys, so I'm of the belief that if I get Dak and then I start him every game and he does good, he's going to fuck me championship week. So, do with that information what you will. That's how I feel about it.
Okay, dude. It's a strong thing.
I'm just being honest. That's my 1,000% transparent read on the situation.
Yeah. The listeners or viewers of the show, we're gonna have as this season goes on, we're gonna have another person join us, Brock. Hopefully, we're working on getting getting his system up to going, so he'll join us. But he's a diehard Cowboy fan. He lives up there in Dallas or near Dallas, and he'll tell you that the Cowboys aren't going to go anywhere as long as Dak Prescott is their quarterback. So, and Jerry Jones even said, just to continue the conversation, it has no fantasy value or merit at all. So it's just don't dwell on it too long. But Jerry Jones did say that in watching Dak play, he didn't see it. You know what you said? If you see it, you know it. And I haven't seen it yet. So we've seen him for so many years. So what does that say? And then, of course, Dak responded with, I don't even listen to what that guy has to say. But come on, man, that's got to suck.
Who said that?
Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones.
Said that about Dak?
About Dak. He said he's been watching him for many years. He hasn't seen it yet. That's what he said. Like, like the proverbial.
I don't know. Jerry Jones sounds borderline senile at this point.
Well, it catches up with everybody. Moving on, last bit of news. Let's talk about Ja'Marr Chase.
Yeah. I mean, what the fuck? Is he legitimately not going to play week 1? Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I have his jersey up on the wall. Yeah. Right there, signed jersey right there. Yeah, so this is a Chase household, namely my wife. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my wife's jersey, actually. So yeah, it's kind of neat doing that. Whenever you buy something like that for your wife, she's all excited about. It's pretty cool. But anyway, one more time, point at. Okay, all right. So the man, I'm getting bad vibes about this, Connor. He showed up to practice. Was it not yesterday, but the Sunday before last, and practiced. Everything was fine. The reports were that they were negotiating. There was actually even a report, because any news about anything is a report from ESPN that there's a feeling that they're about to make the contract happen. So when somebody says that, it usually means there's rumbling going on. And then now he's there. He's holding in. He's not holding out. He's there at practice, but he's street clothes, making sure he's walking in front of the media so everybody can see that he's not practicing. So here we are, less than 6 days, man, until their first game.
I think he just wants to get paid more than CD. I think the CD getting paid fucked the Bengals.
No, it's not CD. You're not wrong. You're not wrong in your road, but you picked the wrong guy. It's Jefferson. He's actually the agent actually.
Jefferson's getting paid the most.
What he wants is, he wants to either get the same as Jefferson or more specifically, this is no joke, 1 penny, 1 penny more than Jefferson. You know those guys.
You're kidding me.
No. They're best friends, dude. They went to LSU together.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. It's petty. It's just
Yeah. Yeah, it screams of trading places. You know the betting with for $1. You know, ruining people's lives for $1. You know he's there. You know it's almost like he's ruining the
yeah.
single season for 1 penny. You know it feels like.
Well,
You know it's not going to ruin the season, but it feels.
This affects you positively. You're playing against him week 1.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean that. Yeah, I mean in that, and from a selfish point of view, yes, but we're here to analyze it as fantasy football people. How are you taking this, man? I mean, so he hasn't been practicing with the team, so
Sounds like he's gonna probably get paid, but yeah. I mean,
okay, okay. Let's say he gets paid. Okay, because so you're saying like we should.
He gets paid. He's out there.
Okay, right. But will they give him the full workload the first week?
Yeah,
he hasn't practiced.
They're paying him.
But dude, he has not.
He's an animal.
Look what they're doing to CD. All right, they're ramping him up, dude. You can't just throw people out.
Cowboys are dumb. You can't trust the way that they do anything. You can never use them as an example.
Okay, that's a solid point. Okay, but I'm just trying to say, logically speaking. Okay, so you're saying
be logical. You're paying Jamar Chase fucking what, $35 million a year?
But you don't want to hurt him. Man.
Look at him. He's unhurtable. He's fine.
Dude, he got hurt last year. He was out like how many games? 2 seasons ago.
Well, that's because he didn't have Joey B with a bleached haircut thrown to him. Bengals are too cool.
He didn't have Eminem throwing him the ball.
They are maxing out their aura this year. The Bengals are all in.
All right, cool.
But you're right. He might not play week 1. I don't think if he gets signed, I think they're gonna play him.
My feeling is that week 1 is in danger one way or the other, because if they sign him, which I'm hoping that they will, it just I don't get it, man. I mean, I get it. You want to get paid, but you have 2 years left on that contract.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Right. It's that's the aspect, but I don't want to get too deep into it and start sides and all that mess. But what I would say is that I'm hoping that they'll come to some sort of agreement, some sort of peace, something where he'll go ahead and he'll be part of the team week 1. I don't think that he'll get full complement of snaps week 1 if he's not there. It just doesn't make sense. It's not like a way that a coach would handle things. It's like, yeah, he's their star, but these guys have been through training camp the whole time. T. Higgins had a problem with the contract, and he took the he took the franchise tag so he could be there to help the team out.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point.
So it just seems like that they're not just going to say, "Oh yeah, man, you're cool. Yeah, come on in." Yeah, you went to the meetings. Cool, that's awesome. I think that it would be that they would use him, but probably sparingly. So either which way, week 1's in jeopardy. I don't think that if you drafted him that you should be lamenting or panic trading him or anything like that, or listening to any garbage trades. I wouldn't do any of that mess because he's, within a month's time, this is all going to be forgotten. It's going to be like the Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, it's definitely not the time to trade.
No, not at all. All right, man. All right, let's go ahead and let's move on well, what do you do? Okay, let's. I guess I don't know what to call this. Okay, what to call this thing? So yeah, I guess we'll just call. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? So now that you have your roster, what should you be doing now? It's easy to feel that like, okay, all that month of research and all that, almost like studying for a huge test, right? The bar exam, like you had the bar coming. So you studied, you took the bar exam, you feel like you passed so you could take a break and relax, right? No, this is when it all starts. So Connor, what should people do now? what should their focus should be? What should they be preparing? What should they do now that draft season is over? Christmas is over.
Yeah, I mean everything. You really, go crazy, go bananas, go stupid. Send out trade proposals. Pick up guys off the waiver. Just have at it. You know, I
I
mean,
see. I wouldn't do proposals right now. And the reason why
I
is because
do.
because my feeling is that this is whenever most people are going to enjoy like their team the most is right after they draft it. In other words, you're trading at the highest
Not
value.
always. Sometimes people don't like. Well, I mean, you're right if they like their guys, but not everyone always feels good about their draft. Sometimes there's someone that people might not be feeling so hot about, and then if they get offered someone that they already like them and believe in them. You just never know. That's why you got to shoot the shot.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm one of the people that get off my lawn. Like if I get a trade request for anything right now, I'm like, yeah, get away. I don't want it. No, get away from me. Yeah, I don't want trades right now. That's my outlook on that. Now, looking at the like the IR, you're talking about, like, I know that right after the draft, you immediately, both of us went and attacked the IR. We have IRs in our four of them in our league that we play together, and you can go directly from free agency into your IR spot. So that was one thing that we looked at, that I thought was a really good thing to do. Um, what else do you have? What do you have, Sam? I have a big thing here to talk about, so I'm letting you kind of shoot your shot, because I have.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, if you're a real cool guy and you pick guys up that are on the IR, and then you can move them over, then pick up more guys. I mean, just get a feel for your team. Figure out when your buys are. Look and see like what your first four, like best guys are going to be able to do for you. And kind of go from there.
The IR people. Let's say that if you were in a league that did not draft any of the people that are injured, that they just straight up just draft people that were healthy, and that people are so there's injured people in the pool. So who in your mind would you say was worth putting? Let's say if you only have two IR spots, so you have to choose one or two. Let's say if you want to go nasty and fill them both up, which ones would you suggest?
I think Nick Chubb is obviously the top one.
So you think he's going to play this year?
Yeah, I think he's a
Okay.
freak of nature. I think he's going to play this year, and the fact that it doesn't matter if he actually is going to play this year. There's some mystique to. I mean, even you care if he's going to play this year or not. Everyone cares a little bit, and the mythos. Oh, Nick Chubb back for my playoff push. That's when he's gonna come at literally the perfect moment when running backs do the best, and you can just get the cheap Jerome Ford rental, and then you just get the Nick Chubb insurance. So that way, you're covered either way until the Browns inevitably sign Kareem Hunt and he fucks things up for everybody.
All right. And who else? Who else?
Probably Odell. Probably Odell Beckham. I like the
Hmm.
thought of him as a wide receiver coming back.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of it. I remember what he looked like last year, and he was kind of hot and cold, and he's gonna. That was
I thought he looked okay.
that was in an offense that needed his services. So if everybody's healthy in Miami, I mean that's a lot going around.
I think the thing is he's still McDaniels is probably a better offensive mind than whoever they got over in Baltimore. And Odell probably has some skills that weren't being like Odell, like I don't know if he's like the greatest scheme fit with the Ravens because the Ravens are kind of hard nosed, physical. Like they like their wide receivers to be able to block and like take you know what I mean? Like Odell just really isn't that guy. He's more like a skillful guy, and he's still like a good route runner and things like that. Like I think McDaniel, he can probably get close to what he was when he was on the Rams. Remember?
Mhm.
whenever he was on the Rams, and he actually had a pretty good year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We could probably get close to that, but that along with a Waddle and a Hill would actually be pretty sick. That would be a pretty insane production for Miami.
Yeah, yeah. I would. Whenever you were talking, I was thinking that the whole point of this is to talk about like planning and
Mhm.
value and things of that sort. And so
Yeah.
if you look at the value of Odell Beckham Jr., he doesn't necessarily have to even step on the field for you to actually capitalize on his value. There's a very good chance that when he starts getting well, let's say if Waddle's hurt or banged up, or he's already banged up, Waddle is, and same thing with Hill. Let's say if their injuries get exacerbated or some things of that sort, and right then Odell Beckham Jr. is starting to get healthy, you can trade him off for something. I mean, so
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing to have. Hawkinson, what's your thoughts on Hawkinson?
I don't know, man. I mean, I thought he was cool. I've targeted him in some leagues. I think he's honestly. I mean, if you have a tight end slot in your league, hell yeah, I definitely think you should go for him. I have him in most of my leagues. I think he is a good move. I'm just not as excited about the Vikings now because JJ McCarthy is out for the year.
Yeah,
Just not as excited about the fact that Addison isn't probably going to jail yet this year.
dude,
So
he got karma hit him. God's justice hit him.
what do you
He's injured.
mean?
He's injured.
Oh,
Yeah,
Addison?
yeah. I think it's
Maybe.
yeah. So it's a lower leg injury. I know that. Yeah,
Ooh, that's not good.
yeah. Yeah. So
You're not kidding. God was like, Nerf.
yeah, yeah. You can escape the man's hand, but not God's hands.
Well, it's gonna take Hawkinson some time. That is the one thing. Is he
Oh
is a
yeah,
late season push
and
type of guy.
he's another guy that whenever he gets better, then you can that his name is going to be so big where you can if your trade
Mhm.
if he's ready before your trade deadline expires, because that's how late in the season he'll probably be ready if he's going to be. So
I'm just gonna keep. I mean, in most of my salary leagues, like I have him, I have Chubb, I have
oh
Jonathan
yeah,
Brooks
yeah,
in
yeah,
a couple
absolutely.
leagues.
Yeah, Jonathan Brooks is a really good was like the one always off the top of the head. It's real easy. But
Yeah.
but the thing I would say about that is that's one where you're gonna have to be a little patient and
Oh,
not
you got to be hella patient. That's
yeah.
another. It's a sleeper agent.
Well, right,
You got to get sleeper agents.
because he's good.
I'm very pro sleeper agent. Like I don't, some people they just have like a pretty primitive like government of fantasy football within the confines of their mind when they construct a team. I go full America. I go sleeper agents, you know. I go
Mhm.
CIA double agents,
Yeah,
grenades, all
yeah.
kinds of shit.
All right, all right.
I get wild.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else that you could think of that might be hinted to be injured or anything like that?
I think if you're nasty, Higby.
Higby.
Higby. I think Higby is actually worth something. I think he's worth a roster in right now. I don't think like Kendrick. I don't think the guys on the Patriots. I mean, it's a play, but I don't know. Maybe they're worth something, but I'm not really looking that way. And then think I think I have Keaton Mitchell, but I don't know how serious
Oh
that is.
gosh, man. I mean, there's so many like this whole preseason. There was uh, Dennis Allen, the head coach, would go out of his way to talk mess about that poor kid. Just he just does for. I mean, he was always like just so upset because he's always injured, and was just talking just very negatively, like not exactly how you're supposed to be talking to try to build people up. So it's almost like he was the bane of his existence. I don't know if he was dating his daughter or he kicked his dog. I don't have no clue, but that's exactly how he was acting. So that was yeah that one is still, man, if you have a spot like like your situation, why
Yeah, yeah,
not?
yeah. Why not?
I took Kendre Miller. I have him.
No, you have Keaton Mitchell. I have Kendra Miller.
Oh, it's backwards. Sorry. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
Mitchell. That's right. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't like. Miller was the one who keeps getting injured. You have Mitchell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one on
yeah.
the Saints. Yeah.
Yeah,
Miller.
yeah, yeah. Miller is the one on the Saints. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mitchell is the one for the Ravens. So
hmm
I mean,
Well,
he
see,
looks good, but he's behind the Yeti.
Well, right.
Yeah,
It's just a spot. I'm like, eh,
100%.
you never know what's going to happen. I don't want anything to happen, but if something does, you never know, man. You never know. All right, and so mine, man, mine, and this is what I've been trying to do is look to see who's going to be that breakout. Who's going to be that guy, the one that's undrafted or a little drafted? That Brett that pops out like Puka Nakua, or Kyron Williams or James Robinson. So this is what's been pestering my mind since the draft. Okay, it's like who's the dude that nobody saw coming? All right, so
I think it's Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton is draft is it. What's his draft thing? Is
He's like an eighth.
no, as far as like his
rounder.
percentage ownership.
Um,
That's what I was trying to look at was percentage of ownership, like 40% the most.
okay, he's 84%.
Yeah, so yeah, that secret's already out, man.
40's the most.
Ish, yeah,
Ooh.
40s. I came up. One of the first things I thought about was Curtis Samuel. That was one that popped out of my mind.
Maybe
All right.
Keon Cole. I don't know. Keon Coleman's probably pretty high.
Well, no. Let me tell you. Okay, so as a ball carrier, for Curtis Samuel, okay, his career rushing stats: 121 carries, 715 yards, and 7 touchdowns. That's 5.9 yards per carry, man. All right, he has a 4.31 40 time speed. Just got a 3-year, $24 million contract from the Bills, and his best season was in 2020. And that was with Joe Brady in Carolina, who is now the new OC in Buffalo. Yeah, so
I've heard the connection thing before, but he can't stay healthy like he did back when Brady was there back then. I think they're gonna use him. I get what you're saying. Here's the thing. He's gonna have some good games. I think it's gonna be sporadic usage and it's gonna drive everyone crazy. I think Allen's gonna spread the ball around because I think Coleman's gonna be good. Shakir is actually turning into a target that Allen trusted at times, including the red zone. And of course, there's Kincaid. Not to mention the fact that he started throwing it to Cook a lot, which he's probably going to do more, or at least as much as he did the second half of last year. So I think it's going to be like the season after Tyreek left, and Mahomes just aired it out to a bunch of different people, but he had great production.
Who are the backup running backs in Buffalo?
They signed a rookie, right?
Well, Ray Davis and Ty Johnson. All right.
Ooh.
So that sounds like a lot of opportunities for Curtis Samuel to run the ball.
Okay. Oh, you really think he's going to be like a Debo guy?
He has been, dude.
I like it.
And his best year was with who the OC was. Is now he's playing for now.
Not to throw shade, but I just don't believe in the Bills to be that good of being creative offensively. When they've tried to do that in the past, it just doesn't look as good.
All right. Well, their offense looked a lot better after Joe Brady took over.
You're correct. That's true.
So,
maybe you're right. I I have Josh Allen's in a lot of leagues, so I fucking hope you're right.
So, but these are guys I'm thinking. Okay, that I'm
theorizing. Chris Samuel. Okay.
Rashid Shaheed.
Shaheed.
Yeah, dude. Deep threat.
There's a fucking dart throw.
Yeah, no. Deep threat last year.
I think I have one for you.
But let me finish, dude. I did a lot of research. We're not just gonna say a name and just like, okay. I did my homework, man. Okay.
Well, I didn't get the assignment.
Okay. I told you what it was. I told you the broad spectrum. Yeah. So, but yeah, last year, man, behind Olave and Michael Thomas, he had 75 targets, and he caught 46 of them for 719 yards and 5 touchdowns. All right. Now there's no longer any Michael Thomas, so he's the clear number 2 there, right? His per target efficiency was 9.6 yards per target. Okay. So every time he caught the ball, it was for an average of 9.6 yards. All right. The year before, it was 14.4 yards per target. All right. So he excels in kick returns, and with how the new kickoff theoretically could work, man. I mean, he could be
That's at least a lot of points.
Dude, I'm telling you. this guy is just like on this offense. You're not even looking that direction. He did pretty well whenever he was the just behind wide receiver 3, but now he's going to be the 2. He has shown better chemistry with
I don't know if
Carr.
he's going to be the 2 though. I
Okay.
don't know if he could just dethrone Shakir like that. I get what you're saying. I still think Shakir is going to get some targets
for the Saints.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm tripping. Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, I think Shaheed.
Yeah, Shakir is not going to be the wide receiver 2.
She's going to do good. She's going to do good. Yeah.
And dude, this last one I wanted to put out there because I think it's important for us to talk about.
Yeah,
it's very important for us to talk about low percentage of management. Of having being on a rostership. All right, and you have a real strong feeling about it now because this guy broke your heart. J.K. Dobbins. Okay, let me talk, and then I'll let you do your thing. Okay, because I know you have things to say about him. So with Jim Harbaugh running the Chargers, he and offensive coordinator Greg Roman are expected to change LA's offensive identity into a physical run-first attack. He's listed as a co-starter for the Chargers with Gus Edwards, so there's a real chance that he'll be getting all the passing work along with the runs. And if it's in the red zone, then this is the definition of what I'm talking about. That guy that could pop that you don't see coming. The team revamped their offensive line that should open up gaps, giving more sustained drives and potential red zone opportunities. That's the good. Connor has all the bad. Go for it, man.
Yeah, so J.K. Dobbins is referred to as Dobby around here because that's what he is for fantasy. Just a gimpy little elf that gets fucking injured anytime he goes out into action. He has one leg that looks like a normal leg, then one leg that looks like a deformed, little decrepit Dobby leg.
And Dobby has like the one sock, so it'd be
exactly
the one sock for the one good leg.
Exactly. And look, I'm not even fully confident in Gus Edwards. If someone signs Dalvin Cook, it's probably these guys. Probably, fuck. They're gonna probably sign someone this year, dude.
Yeah, maybe, or trade for somebody.
Yeah, one of those two things, bro. They're gonna do one of those two things.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I'm thinking though, if J.K. Dobbins, because we haven't seen really much reports. Gus Edwards was gimpy for a while, but he seems to have gotten over that. But it's looking like Gus Edwards is going to be the hammer. There is one side that's saying that J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards shared a backfield before, with Dobbins being the one that took over. So there's that, So I'm thinking that if he gets red zone touches, J.K. Dobbins, and he gets the passing work, he's going to be the guy that everybody's going to be all excited about. And then
it just doesn't make sense why a physical run team would not run the big back in the red zone.
Well, exactly. That's why I'm telling you that. But the reason why is because J.K. Dobbins has taken over red zone snaps before. It's not something that that's not new to him, and it's something that the Chargers, at least in the past, if you remember, if you were an Eckler manager, that they always did that switcheroo all the time. They had this strong guy in Eckler, then they put in the other dude. Let's get the scrawny guy in to go hammer it in. They do weird stuff like that. So yeah. But if it works, because they did revamp the O-line, this could be a guy that could be like a Kyron Williams that took off. So
speaking of which, I'm joking.
Oh, do you have any?
No, there's news he's going to do kick returns now. So all the Williams managers are Kyron Williams.
Oh, yeah. All
the Kyron Williams managers are punching the air right now.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing, because if you have Kyron Williams, you should have Blake Corum. If not, then you get what you deserve. Okay, yeah.
Agreeo.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else off the top of your head that you can think of? I tried to stay away from people that were already injured. Just to make sure, not to sway anybody. Because I told you about that one article I read about the injuries. Like, you don't let the injuries last more than one. Like, don't let an injury from last year tail over into this year, and don't just dismiss training camp injuries. If somebody gets injured in training camp and they're out all training camp till they come in like the week before it's time to play, then they're dealing with something. They're not going to be 100%. And that's like, that's from doctors. Okay, that's not like my own thing. Some dude sitting around with a Chase jersey on his wall saying, I mean, this is what I've read from some doctors. But all right, anything else you guys say about that?
No.
Yeah. So anyway, so these are some things that they can help with. All right, and hopefully you've been enjoying all those shorts that Connor's been knocking out. Dude, great job, man. Great
Thanks,
job.
bud.
I would clap, but it's very obnoxious hearing one clap, especially into a mic. So, so I would applaud, but it would just no. We're not going to do that.
Thanks,
But
bud.
no, but it's really good. Make sure and watch those things. They're going to help you out, even if you've already drafted and their analysis on certain players. It's a great thing to see because, like Connor was saying, I don't subscribe to it, but doesn't mean that that it's the gospel. Connor likes to give out trades. So if you watch his videos and you see his reports on people, you like that person, you might be able to put a package together with somebody you like less, and you'll see reasons as to the pathway of why it'd be a good decision. So yeah,
100%.
help me be gruntled with your fantasy football decisions and roster. Hey, there it is.
Hey.
All right, let's go and close this thing, man. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, what should they do, Connor?
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, click that bell. Make sure to do that because there's all types of stuff we're pointing out. One thing we're doing new this year is we're putting out a lot of more short things, make it easier digestible. So, just to switch things up, make it a little more interesting, have a little more fun, get a little randy about things. It's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And also we want to make sure, check out Connor's book on Amazon.
You know too much.
You'll love it. Yeah, make sure and do that. Yeah, it's a great read. Make sure and do that. And also check out my radio show, Drive Time Sports with Brian and Lori, every Thursday from 4 p.m., 6 p.m. Central on High Volume Music Radio. So make sure you check that out. All right. So on behalf of Connor, the Gut Marshall, and me, Brian, the Amigo Baldwin, I want to thank you for watching. Hope that this year's even better than the last. Connor, parting shot.
You have to stay water.
Man, you use that all the time. You can't use
and
that.
I'm doing my little dance, but I used to do that back when I won. So I'm going back to my old ways, and I'm just saying it each week, and I'm going to start winning.
And not helping anybody. Just being
You got to find whatever I'm finding that gives me this. You got to find that within yourself.
So if you're a pull string doll, be like, got to stay water.
If you're thinking about it that way, you're already lost.
Oh, geez. Well, this is the reason why. Because what I would tell everybody, my parting shots right now, find out who is expendable on your roster. All right. There will be a surprise blow up in week 1. All right. So make sure you know exactly who it is that you want to get rid of. That's walking the plank, who you got your side eye on. Make sure to do that now. And so you don't have to waste time figuring out, who it is once that person pops. All right.
Good call.
So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. So let's go and close this thing out with our last line. Connor, remember everyone that fantasy football is in life.
Don't dream it, be it.
Be it. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck.